Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. I am Untitled. Today we are talking about essay writing tips, and I am going to give you tips that will help you write your perfect essay. Alright, so tip number one, obviously, when you are writing an essay, you have to have a topic, you have to have something you are going to write about on your essay. Alright, so normally or usually when you are about to write an essay, you are normally given a topic, you're normally given a list of topics of which you are expected to choose your essay topic. Now the first step is to give yourself some time to choose a topic that you will be comfortable writing about. Now this is very tricky because you do not have to choose a topic which is interesting to you. No, do not fall in that trap. You need to choose a topic that is searchable. You need to choose a topic that you do know you will be able to write about, or the topic that you know you will be able to research and write about. Okay, so tip number two is that you need to broaden your research. Right, so if you have chosen a topic and you know that you love this topic and you would love to write about this topic, maybe you already have ideas that you are going to start and write about on your topic. Now another thing to do is to broaden your research. You need to go on Google, you need to go on YouTube, or you need to consult any other reliable search engine that you do know of so that you can gather enough information to write about your essay. Alright, so there is a lot of insight you could get on internet besides general knowledge. General knowledge is good to have, but also you need other sources that will help you sort of get extra insight on your work. Right, so the next tip I do have for you is to build a vocabulary. Alright, so having a vocabulary is very good, and in terms of writing, you cannot always have the required vocabulary for a certain topic. So the best thing you need to do before getting into your essay writing, you need to consult a dictionary or you need to consult Google, and you're gonna have, I like going traditional when I'm about to write. I like consulting the dictionary, so I am exposed to a lot of words, and then I choose words that are specific to that certain context that I'm about to write about. So you can just jot down words that are very similar, or words that will be within the context that you are about to write about. So I hope you are getting an idea. You just need to go on your dictionary and you start writing down words that you know you are going to use, or you know you have better chances of using on your essay. Right, so second point is to find appropriate phrases. Now writing is creativity, and having a good vocabulary in terms of phrases is also very important, because the writer actually gets encouraged, and the writer gets invited to read whatever you have to write. So what I mean about certain phrases is that sometimes there are words that are deemed to be deal breakers. Now what I mean about this, I will explain further. Let's just say you are writing an essay and you're using a lot of and or but. So instead of using those words, you need to have phrases under your bag that you are going to use in order to not use those words, to avoid those words. Now I am going to give you maybe a few examples, like joining words. Now instead of saying and all the time, you could say additionally, moreover, or you could replace I with words like personally. I hope you are getting an idea over here. Alright, so the next one is to mind your tone. Remember, when you are writing, you do have a tone that you need to be careful of. You do have a voice that you need to project. very, very organized and very well in order to communicate better with your reader. Now, the best thing I would recommend is to use an active voice. I like to picture it as if I am speaking to a friend. I'm having this very organized conversation, very, very casual conversation, but yet very professional at the same time. So this helps me actually project my active voice on paper because I am imagining this. I'm imagining I'm speaking very casually with a friend, but also I am organizing my words in a very, very professional manner. I hope that makes sense. And the next one is to organize your layout. Right. So the layout is very, very important because we have a standard format, a standard essay writing format, which is introduction, body, and conclusion. Now the reader will assess you in terms of your structure and format. So it's very, very important to follow the structure and organize it very well and neatly. Right. The next one is mind how you use your punctuation marks, right? So an essay, obviously this is very important. You need to have your full stops. We need to know when you are pausing, when you are ending a sentence. Also, you need to know your commas. Very, very important. You need to breathe when you speak, right? When you speak, you cannot just go on and on and on. You need to actually pause and breathe and then continue. So that is where you use your commas and your full stops, right? The next one that I usually see when I read, because I read a lot, I love reading other people's work, but what actually puts me off is the use of exclamation letters, exclamation marks. Now this really puts me off because when I read a piece of writing, sometimes it's actually really good, but because there's a lot of exclamation marks, I feel like you're actually shouting at me, and I feel like you're coming across as very aggressive. So you need to mind your punctuations marks. You need to very, very mind where are you putting them and how are you using them, right? So the next one is to organize a draft, prepare a draft. Right, so it is very important to have a draft before you write, because one of the things that you need to do is get ideas on paper, or you need to get typing away. So that is where you actually come up with your first ideas, and eventually when you are into your writing, you will then polish your first draft, right? Yes. So now let's look at how you are actually going to write your paragraphs. So the first paragraph is the introduction. And the first tip I will give you, when you are writing your introduction, you want to hook your reader from the start. Now the best ways to do that is to use introduction starters or sentence starters, right? So, for example, if you want to write a general statement, you cannot just say, everybody knows that. So if you're saying that, you come off as very arrogant. However, what you could say is that it is widely accepted that, or it goes without saying that, and then you continue and make your general statement, right? So, number two, when you are writing your introduction, you want to make sure that you pretend like you are telling a story. So, you pretend like you are telling a story. However, you are not going to say all the juicy parts of the story. So, you're just gonna hint the story to the reader and not actually indulge on the storytelling. Now this will keep your reader very, very attained, and they will want to continue reading. Right. On your body, this is where you are expected to get on with what you want to say, and this is known as a thesis. Now the reader wants to know how much you know. Now they need to know that you are well informed about this topic that you're writing about. So you need to get on with the thesis, and you actually don't have to make the reader fish for your opinions and your ideas. You just need to get on with your ideas and your opinions and present them to the reader. Now, what is important on your body, you don't have to be hesitant. Now, when you are writing your opinions or your statements, you need to be very sure of them and write them in a way that the reader will actually believe them, even if they know they are not true. Also, what you could do if you're writing an academic literature, what you could do is to use direct quotes. Right? So if you are maybe writing about a book you have been reading in class, so you need to take quotes from that book and paraphrase them into your own words sometimes, or just quote the reader and then paraphrase quote the writer and then paraphrase what the writer was saying in your own words. Now, also, you need to be very sure you are not copying exactly from the writer. Right. And the next one is the conclusion, obviously your last paragraph. So the mistake you shouldn't make on your conclusion, you do not have to come up with new ideas. You are not adding any more information on your conclusion. What are you doing is you are restating your opinions and you are reaffirming the reader that you actually know what you're writing about, and you are actually affirming your opinions and you're making an emphasis on your opinions. Now, this is where you also tell the reader that, listen, I am confident about what I wrote. Right. And lastly, what you want to do is you want to do your final touch-ups. Right. This is where you want to reread your essay and you want to look for errors and you want to look for grammatical errors or spelling errors. Now, if you are writing it down traditionally on pen and paper, you could ask for someone else to read your script, or reread it at least 3 times. If you are typing very, very good, you have an option to use spell checker on Word, or you could use apps like Grammarly or spell checker to really check your grammatical errors and spelling errors. Now, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed the video and I hope I was able to help you. And I do apologize for the noise. My neighbors are having a party, I'm assuming. Bye.